somewhere in a secret location in the brutal outback, surrounded by mountainous mountains and luscious green valleys with trees and gum trees and... Oh look, there's a horse. This is the arena our two contestants will go up against Mother Nature in its true force. Here in these unforgiving outdoor conditions, the ultimate contest will take place. This is the Get Clever series, The Gauntlet. In this series, our two contestants will be battling the elements while putting their mind and creativity to the test. It's going to be a grueling race, not for the faint-hearted. Our contestants will step outside their comfort zone and push themselves to the limit to achieve the prize of being crowned champion. This series aims to pit two contestants from two completely different backgrounds up against each other to see how they solve problems. Let's meet the contestants. First up, we have Jacqui. Her background is in arts, crafts, building and creating things with her bare hands. She also loves to shop. Maybe she'll use her creative problem-solving skills to survive out there in the wilderness. And Jacqui's going up against Guy, a biologist, a scientist with a background in research, study and observing. He also likes playing board games and taking photos of yawning cats. Well, Guy's research and biology skills provide him with the knowledge he needs to become champion of this competition. Contestants will be splitting the challenges up into 4 different parts, each testing different things, whilst we analyse whether being arty or sciencey will actually help you in the challenge.
Sciencey isn't a word.
Guy, you're sciencey minded, and a lot of scientists believe that means you use the left side of your brain for problem solving. Jacqui, you're a creative, and a lot of experts believe that that means you use the right side of your brain more effectively. This could be a right brain versus left brain challenge. To start our challenge, our contestants will be safely harnessed and have to abseil down a giant cliff face.
What?
Don't worry, guys. That's not the first test. It just looks cool. The first test is when your feet hit the ground. You'll be asked to find true north without a compass. Once finding true north, you'll have to make your way to a riverbank, which is your next checkpoint. There, you'll be given the next task. You two look a little bit scared, but don't worry, I'm not just going to send you out into the wild all by yourself, completely helpless. We do have an expert to help you along the way. Kevin, you around? Kevin! Hey mate, there you are. You didn't scare me at all. Now Kev, you're a survival guy who goes out there and survives in the wild, so it's safe to say you made a career out of this?
Absolutely, Nathan. I run Australian Survival Instructors and we run the most comprehensive survival courses in New South Wales.
So Kevin, what does that involve?
Things like primitive shelter, fire, water, obviously rescue, signalling, navigation, that's a big one.
Sounds like my old unit. Kevin, that is perfect because you two have your work cut out for you. You can call on Kevin twice each in this whole challenge to give you a helping hand.
That's the plan, guys. I'll be able to help you get out of any sticky situation, so just give me a call and I'll come running.
So all you guys need to do is raise your flag and say, "Help me, Kevin." Thanks, Kevin. Jacqui, Guy, off to the starting line. Our contestants are starting here in Glenworth Valley on the New South Wales Central Coast, where I've asked them to jump off a cliff. Yes, really. And the challenge is bringing out their competitive side.
Oh. Hi, mate.
Guy, how you feeling, mate? How you feeling about this?
Oh, I think I was born for this, Nathan. I'm a little bit afraid of heights though, but I'm going to try and make my science skills maybe try work for me here.
Right. Have you done this before?
A little while ago.
Anything else?
Not really.
I'm going to ask how the host is feeling, because he might be a little bit scared of heights as well.
No, I don't really care how you feel.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
See ya.
Alrighty, so I'm just going to touch this into here for you. Ready to go?
Cool, alright.
Alright, so we can take this one off. So just take a few steps back for me and it'll loosen up. Keep walking until your feet are just over the edge. Get those heels a little bit further back for me. Perfect. That's it. A few more steps for me. Get those heels just over the edge a little bit more. Perfect. Take some small steps. Woohoo! Good job. Do that all the way to the bottom.
that's the first obstacle down for Spider-Man. Sorry, I mean Guy. Now it's Jacqui's turn. Jacqui, how you feeling?
Oh, you know, I'm limbering up my fabulous artisticness to dazzle this challenge. Actually, I'm really nervous.
Sorry, I actually wasn't listening to what you were saying then, but have fun though. Yep.
Hi, Casey.
Hello, are you ready?
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm really nervous. Should we get started?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay.
You got this.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay.
So take a few steps back for me. That's it. That's it, perfect.
Okay.
So it's nice and
I'm
tight.
in.
And now I want you to grab this hand and pop it all the way behind your back. That's it. Perfect. Now all I want you to do is just to take a few steps back for me, okay? That's it. So I just want you to lean back until you feel my hand, okay?
Okay.
So until you feel my hand, lean back.
Ah,
Ooh, it looks like Jacqui is struggling.
All right.
I'm really scared.
I want you to move your feet too, okay? That's it. And the small steps for me.
I don't know if I can do this.
You can do this. You've got this. All right. So keep leaning into it. Keep leaning into it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's good. That's good. Shuffle those feet back a little bit. Shuffle those feet. Keep leaning. Keep leaning. Perfect.
I don't like it.
It's okay. I've got you, okay? You're not going anywhere.
God.
It's okay. Shuffle a little bit more. Shuffle those feet back till your heels are over the edge, okay? Okay. So keep those legs straight.
She's kind of stuck between a rock and a wedgie.
Hard place.
Sorry, rock and a hard place.
My name is John Dickenberg. I am the captain of the Endeavour replica, and I know a great deal about charts. Reading a nautical chart is quite different to reading a road map or even the GPS in your car. Many of the references that you have in your car, such as the street name or the prominent building, just does not exist here. A chart at sea shows you the coastline and might show you the soundings, how deep the water is, and almost nothing else. So in that situation, you can't rely on looking at the street name or anything else. You must find where the ship is by different means. And in essence, what I do is I can take bearings of the land using compasses, or I can take an altitude of the sun, or I can take the altitude of stars, and I can translate that with a bit of mathematics to a position on the chart. This is actually an octant, which is the sort of instrument Captain Cook used. And essentially what the navigator or the officer can do is during the day, he can take the altitude of the sun. Or at night or at twilight, where you can see the horizon and the stars are out, he can take the altitude of those stars. And if he takes more than one star, for instance, during the evening, a star or an altitude of the sun will give you one position line. Of an evening, when you do take stars, you have the opportunity to take several stars, so you may end up with several position lines. And where those lines cross indicate where the ship is. Over the last several hundred years, maybe even the last 400 or 500 years, charts have changed dramatically. And I can show you an example here. This is a chart that was actually done by Captain Cook. So Cook came to Australia, charted the east coast of Australia, and charted in particular Stingray Bay. And you can see that this chart is very much black and white. There's very little detail on it. There are only a couple of soundings being the depth of water. So what he would do in his boat, he would transit across the bay in one line, working out how deep it was. And he would then translate that and put it on the chart. Modern charts are vastly different to that. So if I can give you an example, this is a chart of Sydney Harbour. And you can see for a start, it's vastly different colour. You can actually see what is land, you can see what is water. And I can use that chart to determine exactly where I am on Sydney Harbour. So charts have gone from simple black and white, a few soundings, to coloured charts, quite complex charts, a great deal more information, and the opportunity to get a very accurate picture of the topography and the geography around you.
I'm doing it. Legs straight. That's it. You're almost there. You're doing so good. That's it, Jacqui. You're doing well. Woo! Woo!
Yes. And that was all right. That was a bit shaky at the top, but it's okay once you start moving. I'm just happy to be on ground again, I think. Wait, where's Guy?
And now the first real test to find true north without a compass. The only tool our contestants have been given is this, a stick. How they use it is up to them. Oh, it's taking me this way. So they don't get lost, our contestants have been given the challenge of finding true north without a compass, and Guy is straight onto it. Guy, mate, you're handling it like a pro. So, what are you actually doing here?
The sun rises in the east and sets in the west, so it's going to move that way.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, if I put the stick in the ground and watch the way the shadow moves, I can calculate what direction the sun is moving in and that way figure out which way is west and east. From there, I can then figure out where north is.
Perfect, mate. While you do that, I'm going back to my trailer. Good job, good job. Let's see how Jacqui's going. While Jacqui currently resides in Struggletown, Guy seems to be having no trouble at all. Guy has placed a stick in the ground and placed a rock where the shadow falls. Now Guy needs to wait for the shadow to travel across the ground so he can place the second rock.
Okay, I think I've waited long enough. Now, because the sun moves from east to west, the direction of our second shadow is actually going to end up east. So this makes our east rock relative to the direction of the first shadow, which is west. So this is going to be our west rock. So if we draw a line between them, forming east and west, which means north, is this direction. So that's where I'm headed.
And Guy is off with Jacqui close behind. Sorry, wrong way.
So I think I know where north is. I can picture it in my head, mainly because I remember the map when I was driving here, but I'm not 100% sure. So I think I'm going to call Kevin.
Wait, you've heard it here first, folks. I think Jacqui's about to pull out her flag and already call Kevin on the first challenge. I can't believe this. It's official, folks. She's pulled it out. She's calling Kevin. First challenge, oh my God.
That's what it's for, Nathan. Kevin! Kevin!
Jacqui.
Hello? Help me, Kevin!
Put your hand up in the air, helps. Oh, Guy's in good shape, and in a very controversial move, Jacqui has already asked for help from Kevin, our wilderness expert. Now they're going to move to a secure location where Guy can't hear or see what they're getting up to.
Kevin! Kevin!
Okay, Jacqui, so what happened?
Well, I want to head off to a good start, but I can't find true north. I don't even know where to begin.
Okay, well, this is a good start. You've got a stick.
Perfect.
Okay, so the first thing we do is put the stick in the ground.
Okay.
Okay, and then we mark the sun's shadow. And because this is done before celestial midday, we don't know when that length of shadow is going to be the same in the afternoon. So we use a piece of string to mark the length of the shadow. I'll just tie a knot. And then, using the knot as a marker, we then draw an arc on the ground. And then we go sit in the shade and wait. And in the afternoon, when that shadow hits our arc, that gives us a second mark, which is either side of celestial midday.
Wow.
Now, the very next thing we need to do, we put our left foot on the first mark, our right foot on the second mark. That gives us an east-west line. We intersect that at 90 degrees, and that gives us true north.
Amazing! Yay! I don't have to hang around like Guy did. Maybe I'll catch up with him now.
Here he comes! Come on in, Guy. You have made it in first. You have found true north. Great. That means you're in the lead at the moment. Oh, and Jacqui's here too, in second place. And you actually used one of your Help Me Kevins, which means you only have one Help Me Kevin left. Guy, on the other hand, here has two Help Me Kevins left. And I came to this conclusion from a little thing I like to call in-depth mathematics and quantum physics.
Okay, Nathan, we get it. I have one Help Me Kevin left.
Yep, that about sums it up. That's round one done, and round two is still to come. 1, 2. I can count.
We've just finished the first part of our 4-part challenge, and I think so far, I'm doing better than Jacqui. Jacqui had to use one of her Help Me Kevins. I didn't have to use that, so I've still got 2 left, which is going to put me in good position going forward.
If that was part 1, abseiling and finding north, then, you know, I'm a little bit worried about what's in store for me in the next couple of parts. Let's see.
So you've heard the term celestial midday in this episode. Here's what it means.
Celestial midday is the time at which the sun arrives at its highest point in the sky. So the sun rises in the morning and it sets in the afternoon. And that point at which it arrives at its highest point is known as celestial midday.
You've also heard the term true north. Kevin showed us one way to find it. Here is another.
Finding true north is a relatively simple thing to do. If you find yourself in the Northern Hemisphere, there is the North Star, and simply looking in that direction will have you looking true north. In the Southern Hemisphere, we don't have the North Star, but we do have the Southern Cross, and alignment in the Southern Cross will also help you establish what is true north.
So there's a difference between north and true north. They are close, but not exactly the same. Our compass reads magnetic north because it's magnetised and the Earth is one big magnet. But because Earth is moving through space all the time, the magnetic north also moves, and this affects what we call north. True north is a fixed point.
There's nothing more fun than a family road trip. Soggy sandwiches, bad dad jokes, daggy sing-alongs, fighting with your little sister, playing I Spy with my little eye. So much fun, right? Look, we know things don't always go to plan, so we have some awesome life hacks to make your road trip so much better. Life hack 1, packing. You want to take it all, don't you? Well, my friend, you don't need a blow-up rubber ring for a trip to the snow. If you're a bit of an overpacker, here's my tip. Roll your clothes. It takes up less room in your suitcase, and it also saves them from being crushed up. Use your shoes to store things like socks. You can also use the second shoe to put delicate things like sunglasses. It keeps them safe and, again, takes up less room. Something else I do when I go travelling is take reusables. A reusable water bottle, so I don't need to buy water wherever I stop. A bowl for any takeaway food, and also a straw and a fork and spoon. This is a perfect way to stop using plastics on your trip. It affects all of our marine life, so every little bit we could do counts. Save your lap and don't get in trouble for spilling tomato sauce all over the upholstery by taking a shower caddy. You and your backseat buddy can have a side each and keep all your stuff in there. Playing board games in the back seat? Never lose the dice under the seat again by putting it in a plastic container. Sore blocked ears usually happens when you're on a plane, but it can also happen when you drive up a steep hill. Open your mouth and pretend to yawn. Or close your mouth, hold your nose and blow out gently. It can help to relieve the pressure and make you feel a lot more comfortable. But the only problem is you'll then be able to hear your mum singing all those terrible ABBA songs. Motion sickness is all about the inner ear. Some people get sick, some people don't. But it's totally horrible if you do. There are some tricks though to help you with motion sickness. If you stare out the window and find a far off point, that can help. Never ever read in the car because that will make you feel super nauseous. If you're old enough, you can sit in the front seat. And never ever face backwards. Total disaster. If your clothes are all wrinkly because you didn't roll them and you want to look fly at the breakfast buffet, simply use a hairdryer and use the hot air to blow those wrinkles out. And if you don't have a hairdryer, when you're having a shower, simply hang your clothes up in the bathroom and let the steam do all the hard work. Anyway, enough talk. We have a road trip to go on. Come on, gang, let's hit the road.